Welcome to another edition of Against the Grain Sports Podcast. And I am your host, Jody Coleman, in the building, man. We joined by my man, Jarrell, Solo on Sports Glenn, all the way from San Antonio, Texas. What's going on, my guy?
I'm doing great, man. Got a little rain today. We needed it bad, bro. We ain't had rain in like 2 months. So we got a little rain today. It always rains on Easter down here for some reason. It's weird.
Hey, it never rains in Southern California. Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh, yeah. Southern Texas, it never rains.
Man, hey, listen, man. We got some action today. We got action, man. We got some NFL moves that was made. Former Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, Super Bowl champ, Stephon Gilmore has retired from the NFL. We'll talk about, did he have a Hall of Fame career? Kirk Cousins signs a 5-year, $172 million deal to go play for the Vegas Raiders, even though they have the number one pick. And people say that we're going to go with Mendoza as the number one pick. We'll talk about that. Also, we got college basketball. The women's Final Four and the men's Final Four are set. We'll give our analysis on that. And we got some NBA basketball. The NBA must have got it right because they got tons of good games tonight. We'll talk about the game of the night and several games that will affect playoff seedings. But how you feeling, so?
Feeling great, man. I'm feeling great, man. It's almost a weekend. How about you, brother? How you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling fantastic, man. We get to talk about sports, man. I got some good news. I had a call this morning. I'll share that with you in a little bit, but It was from my good friend Rick White Sr., and he wants me to do some work with his son. So it's a lot of good news, man. You like waking up to calls like that. But other than that, man, I'm feeling fantastic, ready to get right into it, man. We had a very productive day. I'm trying to see if anybody else going to join it. They may not, so we're going to just get right into the proceedings if we could, man. And we're going to talk about the situation here with Stephon Gilmore, the former Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, Super Bowl champ, Stephon Gilmore. When you seen that he retired, called it quits, man, what did you think? Did you think what did you think about his career? Then we'll talk about, is he a Hall of Famer or not?
It's tough for cornerbacks to make the Hall. Is he a Hall of Famer? You know what I'm going to say, Jody. If you're going to let your guy in, I think Stephon Gilmore is a better corner than your guy. So I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say he's a twin. He played in the NFL. He played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You better not say his name. You know I'm going to see him in a couple months.
I'm not going to say his name. But yes,
I'm going to see him in a couple months.
I know you are. And when you do, tell him I said, what's up? I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say Gilmore is a Hall of Famer. Yes. I mean, how many DBs, Joe, who got MVP?
Now,
that doesn't happen very often.
Well, you got Mel Blount did it before. Deion Sanders did it before. Just recently, about a year ago, Surtain won a defensive back. So it's been a few guys that won the Defensive Player of the Year at defensive back, man. But my thing is Stephon Gilmore, man, being a 5-time Pro Bowler, being a premier lockdown corner in NFL. I mean, you got to let him into the Hall of Fame. Is he going to be first ballot? I don't know, because there's so many. We still are waiting on a lot of cornerbacks. Akeem Talib, Lester Hayes. We're still looking at a lot. Asante Samuels, who had a similar career as Stephon Gilmore, are not in the Hall of Fame. And let's talk about his comparison to some of the guys. Now, I know you're serious about him being better than Rondé Barber. I beg to differ. But what are some of his counterparts he gonna have to deal with, like a Richard Sherman? So if you went down it, would you let Richard Sherman in the Hall of Fame first, or Stephon Gilmore when their time comes?
No disrespect to Richard Sherman, very good cornerback. I think Stephon Gilmore is better than Richard Sherman. That's just my opinion. I mean, Richard Sherman was on one of the best defenses of all time, just like your guy Rondé Barber. If it doesn't hurt, he was on the Legion of Doom. So one of the most loud and boisterous guys on that defense. But I'm gonna still say Stephon Gilmore is probably better than Richard Sherman.
Wow. I think both they played two different styles.
Yeah.
Stephon Gilmore was your classic man-to-man lockdown corner. Richard Sherman was more of a he didn't follow the best receiver on the field. He played zone a lot, but he was extremely effective. Not that I don't think he could have done it. Richard Sherman was the premier corner. I don't know if we ever thought that Stephon Gilmore was ever the best corner over a span of time, but I think we did believe that Richard Sherman was the best corner for about 3 to 4 seasons. So I'm going to limb. I'm going to say I will go Richard Sherman over Stephon because, excuse me, the long best corner in football. All right, the next one, Stephon Gilmore or Patrick Peterson. Stephon Gilmore or Patrick Peterson.
Patrick Peterson. I love corners that follow the best receiver on the other team. Sometimes you're going to take an L when you're out on that island by yourself. I like corners that did that, and he was not afraid to follow the best receivers in the league on the other team from every Sunday. So to me, I get respect for him. I think he's better than Stephon Gilmore.
Whew, Patrick Peterson.
And he's a good punt returner as well.
Patrick Peterson, I believe, was one of the most underrated cornerbacks that we have seen in our league. Patrick Peterson, 8-time Pro Bowler, and the guy played out at Arizona for numerous amount of years. And I think if he would have played for a more premier organization that was doing a little bit more winning, Patrick Peterson will be among the greats. A lot of people don't want to put him in the top 10 cornerbacks of all time, but he's definitely been one of the top 10 cornerbacks since 2000. So I would say this is another situation. I think that the athleticism of Patrick Peterson, because I can think he can play the zone. Like you said, he follows the best receiver. He was great in one-on-one. And I don't even want to bring his kick returning skills into the matter, but we know how good he was as a kick returner and a punt returner. Another one, I'm going to put Patrick Peterson over Stephon Gilmore if I had a vote. But I'm not taking anything away. I would definitely put all three of those guys in the Hall of Fame. But I got another one for you as we continue on. Lester Hayes. I know he's a little bit older. Lester Hayes playing for the Oakland Raiders, 5-time Pro Bowler. He won Defensive Player of the Year at the cornerback position as well. Would you take him, who's been waiting a long, long time to get into the Hall of Fame, Patrick Peterson or Stephon Gilmore?
You mean Lester Hayes?
Lester Hayes, yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, he definitely should have been in the Hall already. Maybe they should have put him this year when Roger Craig's going in. They should have put him in this year. He definitely should have been. I remember them shutting down my Redskins offense back in the 80s. Still have nightmares about that. He definitely deserves to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I'm that's my number one, probably defensive player that's remaining that's not in the Hall of Fame, that has not got the nod. Lester Hayes and L.C. Greenwood are two of my guys that I'm like, why haven't these two guys been elected into the NFL Hall of Fame? All their counterparts are in. So Lester Hayes, you look at that roster, Fred Biletnikoff, Cliff Branch, Kenny Stabler. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are already into the Hall of Fame. On the defense side of the ball, they got Ted Hendrickson. He's already into the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? They got it's a couple guys that they haven't. They let Willie Brown. I don't think he played with Willie Brown, but Willie Brown, one of the Raiders.
Howie Long,
Michael Haynes. A lot of those guys got into the Hall of Fame, but we're still waiting to hear Lester Hayes' name be called. And I'm going to protest just like I do for Donovan McNabb that Lester Hayes should get into the Hall of Fame. So no disrespect to Stephon Gilmore. That's another player that I would take at the defensive back position to get into the Hall of Fame. I got one more for you. Asante Samuels, 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time Super Bowl champ, led the NFL. If you go back, he leads the NFL all time in interceptions in the postseason. So he gets it done when it matters. Do you think you go Stephon Gilmore or Asante Samuels?
Gilmore's got a Super Bowl with the same squad. He won his with New England as well. Am I right?
Yeah, I think he got 2 Super Bowls though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Stephon Gilmore over him. I'm gonna go Gilmore over him.
This one is difficult, very, very difficult for me because I think Asante Samuels does not get the respect because
he was really good.
Because he did it with the Patriots and then went over to the Philadelphia Eagles and led the NFL interceptions when he went to the Eagles. He's been a guy that he didn't really follow the best corners on the field, but Asante Samuels was a difference maker. And we always talk about what do you do in the postseason? What did you do in the postseason? He leads all players. We ain't talking about I ain't talking about since 2000. I'm talking about all time. He leads all players in interceptions in the postseason. And he got a couple interceptions taken back for touchdowns. But I'm on this one. I love you, Asante Samuels. I love your podcast. Hope that we cross paths. But I'm gonna go with Stephon Gilmore just slightly over Asante Samuels. Okay, another one. Akeem Talib. Akeem Talib has, I believe, like 8 touchdowns back for returns. You know what he's done. I really gave him a hard way to go for what happened off the field with his brother. But I guess those things have been put behind him. Who would you say, Stephon Gilmore or a team? Talib also has a Super Bowl. I think he won it with the Patriots as well.
Did he? No, Broncos, right?
Broncos.
Yeah, I think Super Bowl 50, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Broncos.
Yeah. Remember he snatched Michael Crabtree's chain. Give me that chain, nigga. Give me that chain. I love that. But he's a Dallas kid. I'm gonna go Gilmore over him also. I like him. I believe he's a really good corner from Kansas. We don't have too many good football players from Kansas Jayhawks. But I'm gonna go Stephon Gilmore over him.
Yeah, I'm agree. Stephon Gilmore, slight edge, not by much.
No,
but a slight edge because Stephon Gilmore was such an elite shutdown corner. And I'm talking about we don't get to see a lot of elite shutdown corners in this day and age. And Stephon Gilmore was one of the last of the dying breed. There's not many left. It's probably about, Patrick Surtain is a shutdown corner. Witherspoon from Seattle is a shutdown corner. I believe your kid up there with the Texans is a shutdown corner. What's his name? I can't even think. Derek Stingley. Denzel Ward for the Cleveland Browns is a shutdown corner. Yeah, but we don't see these type of shutdown corners like Stephon Gilmore. But big shout out to Stephon Gilmore having a excellent career, man. Retiring, 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, 1-time Super Bowl champ, 1-time Defensive Player of the Year. He had 32 interceptions for his career. Hey, big shout out. We will see him with a gold jacket. I just don't know when, but he will get a gold jacket.
Jody, for my money, cornerback and quarterback are the toughest positions to learn in the NFL. I never played in the NFL, but to me, it's like be very difficult to be an elite corner in this league. These receivers are so fucking fast, and you backpedaling, got to figure out which way they're going, stand in front of them, got to be real shifty. I think playing cornerback is probably the toughest position on the field.
Not just that, but it's like at the cornerback position, if you don't get help, man, you could get roasted. I done seen cornerbacks get motherfucking honey roasted out there. I used to say that all the time about Denzel Burton at Ohio State. I'm like, what the fuck? If y'all don't get this motherfucker some goddamn help.
Hey, Joe, we drafted. I remember my Commanders drafted Forbes, that little skinny corner we drafted from. I think he went to Ole Miss.
He went to Mississippi State.
Yeah. And they put him on AJ Brown as a rookie. I said, what the fuck are they doing? Get that guy some help. He can't handle AJ Brown.
But that's the problem. That's why you gotta really hit on your shutdown corners that you draft. Yeah. Because if you start bringing that safety help over there, guess what that opened up? That opened up the run game. Yep. That opened up tight ends across the middle. And if you got another receiver like Philadelphia that has another receiver on the opposite side, that guy can go ham on the other side because you're giving so much help over there. So you got to really hit on these cornerbacks that come into the league that you consider shutdown corners because there's so much you got to do. If you got to help out a corner that much, I'm not drafting a cornerback that I got to help out get all the goddamn time. Now, sometimes you do need some help. So sometimes I don't give a fuck who you are. You could be Deion Sanders. Sometimes you need some help. Rob Woodson need help. But if you got to help goddamn 50 to 60% of the time, you got to help on that side of the field because he can't get the job done, then you got the wrong cornerback.
You know what a cornerback's best friend is, right, Joey?
The pass rush.
The pass rush, baby. If you got a pass rush, them corners look all world. Look at Larry Brown for the Dallas Cowboys. Got him two interceptions in the Super Bowl and made a whole bunch of money from the Raiders. He was just average, believe me.
I'm going to tell you who benefited for one season. He was a one-hit wonder. Fucking Josh Norman in 2000, I think it was 15, the year they went to Super Bowl. They had the excellent pass rush, and he was considered the best cornerback in football that season. And then he goes over to your Commanders. Yep. He go to your Commanders and rob them blind. Yep. Because he did not live up to that contract at all. But Josh Norman, who was a good cornerback, I just think he lived off of that great pass rush that Carolina had. So you're absolutely correct. The best friend of the cornerbacks is a goddamn pass rush. Get y'all some edge rush. That's why edge rushers and cornerbacks make so much fucking money.
Oh yeah,
that's what he do. But hey, this was a cut. I saw this. I saw this like wait. I said hold the fuck up. This is against the grain sport. Hold the fuck up. the Raiders, the Vegas Raiders, I don't know if they out there gambling, drinking in the morning, drinking waking up to Jack Daniels or some shit, but they're signing Kirk Cousins. 5 years, $172 million. The first year is $20 million is already guaranteed no matter what. And then if they exercise the next year is $80 million. So he could potentially make $100 million in his first 2 years of a 5-year, $172 million deal. This guy, whoever his fucking agent is a fucking genius, and he needs to go into the Hall of Fame because this motherfucker that made so much goddamn money to have one playoff win. He has one fucking playoff win. One. And he's the third highest quarterback earnings of all time behind Matthew Stafford and Tom Brady.
Life of the by timing, Jody. And Kirk Cousins I remember when he was with the Redskins. That's what we used to be called back in the day. Perfect. He was a free agent. Oh, we got a franchise tag this quarterback. We don't have a quarterback. They franchise tagged him 2 years in a row. He made big money. And then he became an unrestricted free agent, Minnesota. Oh, shit. He's the only guy out there. We got to give him a lot of money. He just, his time
3 years, $84 million.
Actually, Jody, I think only thing that that the Raiders really owe him is a 1-year deal. Everything else is like, okay, after this year, they're not going to re-sign him because they're going to draft this kid from Indiana. He's going to eventually be the starter. He's just going to be that bridge quarterback this year. But when I first saw this, I was like, 5 years? Then they broke it down. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, what the fuck? Come on. I know damn well they will give him that much money.
My man Chappie, he got on here. He said, fun fact, Michigan is 2-8 all time against his Arizona Wildcats. So I can't wait. We'll talk about that a little later in the show. Because that's the championship. Michigan, no disrespect to UConn or Illinois, but that game right there is what everybody.
Hey, Joe, did you see they're gonna do a live cast with the Fab Five? You know they do that during the championship games.
I'm not watching that shit.
No. But you know what I'm talking about? How they do it with they do like the local, like okay, Arizona's gonna do their own. It's gonna be that they're gonna show the local broadcast like on ESPN2 or something. Apparently they're gonna do it with just the Fab Five. They're gonna be doing it just. So I thought that was pretty cool.
We'll see how that turns out. They could have called against the grain sports. But when I looked at this right here, when I looked at Kirk Cousins, 5 years, I understand that it's broken down. Like I said, the first year is guaranteed. So no matter what happens, he play a snap, he get hurt, he can break his ankle. This is a guy that just came off of a very bad ankle injury 2 years ago. He's been benched for a quarterback that can't stay healthy. They cut him, even though they don't have a healthy quarterback. So instead of keeping him, they go get another quarterback that's often injured. And now he signs a 5-year, $172 million deal. And what's funny about it, and you know what I'm about to say, everybody harps on Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, guys like that getting guaranteed contract, but nobody seems to get mad at Kirk Cousins because both of those guys I named have way more playoff. Even Deshaun Watson got more playoff. At least he got 2 playoff wins. He got more playoff wins. Russell Wilson, of course, got 9 playoff wins and a Super Bowl. But nobody seems to get upset. Now, in what fucking universe is it that the Raiders say, you know what, we added all these pieces, we got a veteran quarterback. They decide to either trade that pick and don't get Mendoza or pick somebody else that can help them immediately. What are the chances and what universe does that happen in?
If they're going to put all their eggs in the Kirk Cousins basket, we're going to have to check Tom Brady for CTE. Tom Brady knows better than that. I don't see them making that move, Jody. But me and my son were talking about Mendoza. I don't think Mendoza's going to be legit in the pros. I don't think he's going to be that good. I think he was in the perfect situation in Indiana. Great defense. The offense was set up perfect for him. I just don't think he's going to be that good in the pros. But I also don't see them passing on him. I mean, the way the league is set up now, the way they love quarterbacks and like they build their teams around quarterbacks, I don't see them passing on this kid. Everyone thinks he's going to be great, but I just don't see it.
The reason why I asked that question, I thought about it ever since I seen it, is why do you make this move after Mendoza's pro day though? Like this decision could have been made weeks ago, but they made it a few days, about a week or so, that Mendoza had his pro day. And I think some people was impressed, some people wasn't. I don't know how you can evaluate a quarterback in t-shirts and fucking shorts after he done won a national championship. But the Raiders right now, it looked like they're in win now mode. I mean, they get Max Crosby back. They went and spent a ton of fucking money in free agency. They went and got weapons. Kirk Cousins, we know, can throw the football. We know he can put up 4,000 yards. We know he can throw 25 touchdowns in the season. And the Raiders have zero expectations of being successful. And I'm gonna say it's a 40% chance that on draft day that number one pick is traded to Arizona. Because why not trade?
That's a hot take. I didn't think about that.
I think the trade is going to be for 3 first-round picks. Wow. Arizona would take it. They don't have a quarterback. They were waiting to get a quarterback. And I think that if the Vegas Raiders can get 3 first-round picks, and let's say they're not good, guess what? There's a boatload of fucking quarterbacks coming into next year's draft, led by, of course, Arch Manning. The kid Chamberlain will be in this draft next coming up, and somebody else will emerge just like Mendoza emerged this year. So in the universe, I don't think it's too far-fetched. Is it going to happen? Probably not. But don't take it for granted that Arizona might be like, hey, okay, Vegas, we ain't got shit to lose. We need a quarterback. Mendoza will fit our system. What do you think about that, son?
Oh, I never thought about them actually trading the pick. I mean, if somebody's going to give me 3 first-round picks for a quarterback that we don't know is going to be legit, I would definitely take that. And Arizona's not going to be good either. So there's going to be some good high draft picks as well. But they're already making excuses for Mendoza, Jody. I heard them say already, this new head coach, Kubiak, he runs under the center quarterback play, and Mendoza hasn't done that since high school. They already make excuses for this kid. Number 1 overall pick, when they make excuses for it, you got to get out there and play. But if they're going to go the old school way, like they used to do, draft quarterback, let them sit for a little while, learn the game, and then get out there. We're not used to that in today's football. We used to, you draft the number 1, you're going to fucking play. Maybe they're going to go old school and say, hey, man, look, this is Kirk Cousins' team this year, unless he shit the bed, and we got to put Mendoza out there. Maybe that's going to be their game plan. I don't know.
But we know that Kirk Cousins can light this shit up. Yeah, Kirk Cousins is a very good regular season quarterback. Let's call it what it is. And we know he can put up fantastic numbers. We've seen it where he beat Tampa Bay, threw for over 400 yards. We've seen it. He did it in Minnesota. We've seen he did it in Washington. People forget at Washington, he had his best year where he threw for over 4,900 yards. So we know the guy can put up excellent numbers. That could unlock Aston Genty in the backfield. They got a fantastic tight end in Bowers. We know Brock Bowers is one of the best tight ends, if not the best tight end in football already. The offensive line has been upgraded. The defense has been really upgraded with all the picks. Bringing Max Crosby back upgrades your defense, even though he was there last year. But you add all those other pieces. You bring in the linebackers. You bring in Nakobe Dean. You bring in Walker. You got some defensive backs. You went and got Johnson from Buffalo, one of the best nickel corners in football. And you still got several draft picks. And if you make this trade, and even if you don't get 3 first-round picks, maybe 2 first-round picks for that, and maybe you exchange it with their pick this year and get some other 2nd and 3rd round picks that you sprinkle in there from like a team like Arizona, or why not the Jets? The Jets is another team that got multiple 1st-round picks from Sauce Gardner from the Indianapolis. That's when they traded him, they got Indianapolis 1st-round pick. So maybe the Jets, who haven't had a quarterback in how long? So maybe the Jets in Arizona call up Vegas like, hey, we see y'all got Kirk Cousins. How about y'all give us an opportunity to get that 1st-round pick, and we'll give you, 2 1st-round picks and maybe 2 2nd-round picks or 2 3rd-round picks, whatever the numbers would be. But I think that can be something that a lot of people ain't talking about, but you heard it here first on Against the Grain Sports. I haven't heard anybody, but that was the first thing I thought of, that maybe they're looking to trade this pick because, like you said, so maybe they, after their pro day, you ain't as sold on Mendoza as you were after the national championship game. So,
well, Jody, another thing, only issue I have with rolling with Kirk Cousins and we're trying to win now is look at that division they're in, bro. They got the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes gonna come back with a vengeance. They showed him already dropped back in the pocket throwing passes. He's gonna play with a chip on his shoulder. He's gonna bring it. And the Chargers, I know that they don't do well in the playoffs, but they got another year on the system. They're gonna be better. And the Denver Broncos were just in the AFC Championship game. So that's the only thing I push back on that a little bit. Kirk Cousins with that division, I don't know. We'll see.
But Kirk Cousins, he 34, 35, so he still got, in quarterback years, it's kind of like dog years, he still got a good 2 to 3 solid years, according to the Matthew Staffords of the world, the Aaron Rodgers, the Tom Brady's, how they're defying the age gap. We're seeing that Kirk Cousins, who really is not going to play his best football to this year because they say it takes about 2 years from an ankle injury like that for him to be 100% healthy. And we know that he can play. That's the thing. We know that Kirk Cousins can play, at least in the regular season. And I think if you go with a quarterback and you spent all the money that you spent in the offseason, because the Raiders had the most cap space among a lot of teams, and I don't know where they were ranked at, but they were top 5 for sure. Listen, man, you can get 2 first-round picks. You throw that with the picks you got already, you can be really good really fast because they need wide receivers. And we know Kirk Cousins can make a receiver better. We know that. And it's a lot of good receivers that may not be top 10 worthy, but there are a lot of receivers that'll be good in the later first round, early second round. So, hey, Vegas, listen to me, man. Maybe trade that pick because I think Arizona and the Jets will give you everything y'all asked for.
I know the Jets would. They would, man, that would be crazy. They just got Geno from the Raiders and then try to make a trade. That would be crazy, right?
Hey, listen, man. If Mendoza's available and you can just trade some picks, and you already got multiple first round picks already, you already got more, and you got a number 1 receiver in Garrett Wilson. So it's not like you got to go draft a receiver. You got a receiver right there. If you bring him in, I mean, I would in Arizona the same way. You got Marvin Harrison Jr., who just probably need a quarterback to unlock his skill set, and you got some other guy. Remember the kid from Stanford? I think his last name is Thomas. He played very well, and they got Trey McBride at the tight end position, who led all tight ends in reception. So, I mean, Vegas, y'all gamble a lot right out there. Y'all gamble.
Yeah.
How about trade that pick to one of those teams that are in dire need of a quarterback, Arizona or the New York Jets? And I think both organizations probably have entertained a phone call with the Vegas Raiders already since they started.
And you know the NFL, most leagues are copycat leagues. They're looking at what the Seattle did last year with the People's Champ favorite quarterback, Sam Darnold, and he was not their best player on that roster. They had a great team. I mean, Sam Darnold was probably the 8th best player on that team, probably, if that. But that's maybe the Raiders thinking, man, shit, let's just build us a great team around, and we can win with an average quarterback. We got a kick-ass defense and a great offensive line and running game. Shit, we don't have to have an elite level quarterback to win the Super Bowl. They just proved that last year. And
that's my point.
Yeah.
Y'all already got a first-round pick. If you add another first-round pick, y'all can get real good real fast. Real good real fast. So think about that, Vegas. So if y'all hear that they trade that pick, don't act like y'all heard it on ESPN and those. You heard it here on the.
They got to give you credit for that one, Joey, if they do it.
Because we talk shit, but we be really talking our shit, and it be making sense. That's why we wanted the premier podcast out here. So y'all better make sure y'all paying attention. I'm just gonna tell y'all that right now. But we got some women's college basketball. Then we're gonna get to the men's. Then we get to the NBA. We get you guys out of here. But in the women's Final Four, which starts on Friday, which is tomorrow, we got the number 1 seeded UCLA Bruins, Lady Bruins, versus the number 1 seeded Texas Longhorns, Lady Longhorns. The last time that the Texas Longhorns played UCLA, Texas beat them in the tournament, and last time they played in the tournament. What do you think about this matchup right here? And I know you're a big-time Longhorn fan, but realistically, what do you see out of this game right here?
Well, the Elite 8 game to get to the Final Four, Texas won by, I think, 40 points against Michigan. It's crazy to win an Elite 8 game by 40 points. Just don't seem right. UCLA struggled to win their game, but they still won. But you know that Bets, the center. I looked her up. She looks taller than Jolie. She's 6'7". She looks taller than that, bro. And she looked like she about 6'10", but she's 6'7". She's legit in the post. They struggled the last game, but you know every game is different. But I like the little point guard that Texas has out there. She's been a floor general for sure, and I think she's gonna lead the way and get them to the championship game and play the winner of the other game. I got Texas winning.
Yeah, Laura Betts is the defensive player of the year and offensive player of the year in the Big Ten. She's
legit, bro.
That's a rare feat. You don't always see somebody that does that. But I believe that Texas overall is very good. But in this one, so I got to go UCLA Bruins. Even though y'all got Booker, she's fantastic. She was up for Player of the Year, but she didn't get it. But she's an All-American. I got to go with Betts, and that they're full. Man, they have a roster full of talent. I'm gonna go UCLA to make it to the championship game and get some revenge against the Lady Longhorns. So I'm going tomorrow.
Whoa! Are you picking Big Ten again? Is that what you're telling me?
Man, listen, man. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're
hey,
talking
Joey,
about.
3 years ago, you wouldn't pick UCLA because they wasn't in your conference. But now they're in your conference.
I watch a lot of UCLA basketball. They're
I'm just
loaded.
fucking with you.
They got some shooters out there, man.
Yeah, they legit. Hey, bro, it's not a lot of good women's basketball players. So all the teams like players that they go to about 10 teams, really, and then they build really good teams, and then like the rest of them kind of you get the scraps after that. But
the college game is more healthier than it ever been on the women's side.
Yeah.
But we got the another Final Four game, and this is right here has been a back and forth battle for years. UConn had beat them last year to win the championship. We know South Carolina beat them in 21. They beat them in 21, I believe, to win the national championship. We know South Carolina is led by one of the best coaches in America, Don Staley. We know that UConn, Gino is just fantastic. We know that. Big shout out to Sarah Strong winning the Player of the Year in America. Big shout out to Sarah Strong. AZ Fudd could have won it. it was a coin flip. Either one of them could have won it. So who do you like in this matchup? We know UConn has been extremely. You talking about teams winning by 40 points. UConn have been regularly winning by 30 and 40, 50 and 60 points. Who do you like in this matchup?
Well, there's like you said, it's a rematch from last season they played in the championship game, or was the Final Four?
It was a championship game, I think.
Yeah, I would like to say my girl Dawn can get a revenge, but this UConn team is nasty, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go UConn to beat South Carolina. I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think UConn's gonna get them.
I hate to say this against Don Staley, but this UConn team has been one of the most dominant teams that UConn have put on the floor. I didn't say they was the best or the most talented, but they've been extremely dominant. I think the closest any team have got to them was like 15 points by Notre Dame, and Notre Dame got one of the best players in America, Hannah. So I'm gonna go UConn. They're the dominant. Sarah Strong goes along with all their great Maya Moore, Rebecca Lobo, Paige Buckets, Sue Bird. You know what I'm saying? Diana Taurasi. I could keep going and going and going for probably 3 days on how many great players. Tamika Williams, hometown hero. She gets on the show. Her name is Tamika Jeter now, but she gets on the show. That's one said she dunked on me in high school, but she did. Hey, she was a beast though. She coached for the Lady Flyers, the UD Flyers. But I got UConn winning this game because she was on one of those championship teams at UConn right here from Dayton, Ohio. So that's the college game, the girls. Now we're going to go over to the guys, man. We're going to go over to the guys. We got number 1 Michigan going against number 1 Arizona. Clash of the Titans. 2 powerhouses this season. Both teams have just been smacking competition left and right. A lot of talent, a lot of NBA players on this court. So who you got and why?
Well, Michigan is the more veteran team. They got a lot of super veterans. Is that a thing? Super seniors on their roster. They got some guys that should probably be in their second NBA contract by now. Arizona got a bunch of young guys. And don't forget, they got Bryce James sitting on the bench. Super cheerleader doing his thing. Just hoping his team gets a championship. I see a great game here, Joe. Like you said on one of our shows last week, this is possibly the championship game. And I think we're gonna get a nail by it. Most of the time in these championship worthy games, they never let us down in college basketball. So I think we're gonna get an overtime game. I think it's gonna go to overtime, and I think Michigan wins in overtime. I'm gonna go Michigan to win this game.
So you don't think 40 minutes is enough?
No, bro.
Do you realize that the college basketball?
I picked the Big Ten team, Joey. Are you proud of me?
I am definitely proud of you. It wasn't the SEC team left available for you. So, I mean, goddamn, you got to go Big Ten. But this is crazy. This is the college basketball is the only sport. College basketball, high school, junior high, professional, women's, all are at quarters. They're the only person that has.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that I don't think they're going to change it. It works for them. College game, the women's went to 4 quarters of 10 minutes. I like that for them. But anyway, in this game, I already told you I'm going Michigan Wolverines. I just think Arizona's really good. Jalen Brown, the Big 12 player of the year. The guy controls the tempo. He makes big shots. He reminds you of Jason Terry. You remember Jason Terry on Dallas Mavericks? But I just think Michigan's front line, everybody was running and raving about Florida's front line, and they just act like Michigan didn't have three guys that's gonna be in the NBA next year. You know what I'm saying? Johnson, Marr, and of course Yaxel Lindenberg is a problem. The kid can flat out play. He's a great defender. He's a Big Ten Player of the Year. I like Michigan. I'm not taking nothing away from Pete because Pete gonna bring his hard hat. He gonna try to put up a 20-10 game. Burris, we know he reminds me so much of Devin Booker. That's what his game is reminiscent of, is Devin Booker. The guy can handle the ball, can shoot the three. He's really good defensively. He don't get a lot of credit. And like I said, Jaden Bradley, they got some other guys that complement every angle. They got shooters. I just think Michigan is well-rounded, man. And I think Michigan wins this game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to take overtime, but I think they win this game. And down the stretch, it ended up being a 5-point game because of free throws. But it's going to, like I said, it's going to be close throughout, man. I think both teams going to make a run. I like Michigan to win this game, though.
Hey, Jody, I remember on this show about 2 months ago, you were saying when your final take was, can we get a Big Ten team to win a championship? You said we haven't won a championship since Michigan State, right? That was 2000. He said, can we please get a team win a championship? And you said that 2 or 3 months ago, and you got a real legit shot at it right now.
We got to see. We got two opportunities.
One at a time, dog. One at a time.
We got, matter of fact, since we talking about the opportunities for the Big Ten, we got number 3 Illinois that I don't think anybody picked to be in the Final Four. I mean, only people outside of Champaign, Illinois picked them. I don't think nobody else but the guys that's on that team and guys that like Illinois. Kendall Gill probably picked Illinois to go. Maybe Nick Anderson and Marcus Liberty picked them. Kenny Battles, some of the greats. Darren Williams, D. Brown, those guys probably picked. Augustine, Illinois, man, we know what they freshman is all about. Keaton Wagler is a guy that has really upped his stock to potentially be a lottery pick, man. When at the beginning of the season, I thought he needed to put on about 10 or 15 pounds. I think he's just fine how he is now. They're going against a UConn team who has been in the Final Four 3 out of 4 years. So 3 out of 4. And the last time these two teams played in the Elite Eight in 2024, do you know that Illinois was tied with UConn at 23 and they went on a 30-0 run? 30-0 run in the first half. So they went from 23 to 23 to 53 to 23.
You'd be like, what happened? We were just tied up a minute ago.
How many goddamn time? Like, you should have ran. I would have never. Listen, I would have called a timeout every time. But who do you like in this game? We know both of these teams have a tremendous amount of talent. UConn may have a little bit more, but who you like?
Like you said, UConn is battle tested, but so is Illinois. I was very impressed with Illinois with the way they dog walked my Houston Cougars in Houston just a few days ago, and that was very impressive. Their defense was legit. I like their shooters they have on the team. They got Peja Stojakovic's son out there knocking down them threes. Very impressed with what they've got. UConn probably thinks they're unbeatable right now. They say we just came back from 19 against Duke. We're not worried about Illinois. Coach out there headbutting the referees and shit. But I like the Illinois coach. He's gritty as well. He don't headbutt referees, but he's very impressive what I've seen. I'm going to go Illinois for the upset. I'm going to go Illinois to take down UConn.
So you think it's going to be an all Big Ten?
Hey, my guy Jody going to get his wish. You can't lose after that.
We can't lose. I wouldn't give a fuck who won after that. But in this one, I hate to say it, Illinois' the slipper is going to come off against UConn. I think UConn, they just got too many dogs, man.
It's really a slipper, Jody. We're talking about a 3 seed. It's not
we're
like
talking about a
7 seed.
I'm gonna say that they wasn't because you literally beat a 2 seed in Houston at home. You basically beat a team that should have had the home court advantage, and you beat them quite handily. You beat a number 1 Florida team who a lot of people thought was the hottest team in college basketball.
Yeah, I thought that too, for sure.
So I think it's a little. If UConn wins this game, I think I ain't gonna say it's a Cinderella story, so to speak. But if Illinois wins, I think it's a major upset. I ain't gonna say major, but it will be an upset in my eyes because nobody picked Illinois. People picked UConn. Yes. Illinois was not even picked to be in the top in the Big Ten, let alone in the Final Four. You see what I'm saying? Like everybody was picking Michigan and Michigan State, but look who's in the Final Four. Illinois is in the Final Four. So big shout out to them. Well coached team over there, man. They got guys they know they roll, but in this one, I think UConn just has too many weapons. They got 5 starters, all in double figures. You don't know who gonna be the dog in what game.
Yeah.
Alex Caravan, I know people, my nephew shitted on me when I said that he's one of the best winners in college basketball, but he is. I mean, if you go to 3 Final Fours in 4 years, and then the year you don't go to Final Four, you're in the Elite 8, like you'd have been you don't know nothing. You like Patrick Mahomes, you don't know nothing but high-ranking basketball, Alex Caravan, and he's been a key component on all those teams. Even when he was a young guy, he was a guy that contribute throughout his career. So I mean, I know people don't care about Alex Caravan like I do, but he's a guy that's a winner, and I think he continues winning. So I think the Final Four, the championship game is going to be UConn versus Michigan. You think it's Illinois versus Michigan? That's what you think?
Yes, sir. It's going to be good. Jody, this is another team that you talked about, and I think Dan Hurley was playing your final thought in the locker room. When you talk shit about UConn, you goes, you guys are winning, but you haven't been looking very impressive. This early in the season, I think they were like 10, 15 games in. Jody goes, man, this UConn team, they're winning, but I'm not impressed. They should be dominating this conference more. I think he must have played that video. He might have headbutted the TV after you said it, but he played the video for his players, and ever since then, they've been playing some good basketball.
So you think he looking for me?
Yeah, he's looking for you. Hey, you might want to put your football helmet on, dog.
Because it's crazy because they're in the Big East, and we ain't talking about our Big East that we grew up on. We talking about Big East that got Creighton and Butler. What the fuck is that? We ain't talking about the Big East that got Syracuse, Georgetown dominant, Seton Hall dominant, St. John's dominant, UConn dominant. We ain't talking about that Big East that got Pitt was dominant. We ain't talking about that Big East. We talking about a Villanova team that ain't the Villanova team with Brunson, Jalen Brunson, and Mikal Bridges. We ain't talking about that Villanova team. So yeah, this is not you are UConn. You got more talent than anybody in that conference. I know some people like, what about St. John's? St. John's had talent, but their talent is not on the level of UConn. Even though St. John's had beat them, I just don't think that. Actually, beat them twice this year. St. John's. I think St. John's has got the veterans but I don't think talent wise. They got the Okafor, what's his name? The Okafor J. His name starts with an E, but it's like Okafor or some shit like that.
Oh, for St. John's?
Yeah, he won the defensive player he won the player of the year and defensive player of the year in the Big.
Their offense was just bad this year. They just couldn't score. They had too many lapses when they couldn't score the ball. That was their biggest issue this year.
But like I said, I like that. Dan Hurley, listen, man, maybe I helped y'all. Motivated y'all, but I seen it, and I watch a lot of college basketball. I watch a lot of sports, and when I was watching games, and you struggling with Xavier, like what the fuck is you? Xavier right down the street. My ex-wife went to Xavier; she a graduate from Xavier, and I'm just like, y'all struggling with Xavier, y'all struggling with Butler, y'all struggling with Creighton.
Xavier, is that an HBCU?
No. You talking about the one? I think the one you talking about the one in New Orleans. This one,
okay,
yeah, man. So. That's our college basketball. And once again, we're going to keep giving y'all different versions of our thought. Like I said, I got Michigan versus UConn. Soul got Illinois versus Michigan, which that means I'm going to get my wish and get a championship in the Big Ten. I think a lot of coaches in the Big Ten going to run this tape back when I said that the Big Ten is unathletic.
You did say that.
They not really athletic, though. I'm serious. Like, if you go look at the Big 12, they got all kind of athleticism from BYU, which is crazy work, and I think AJ gave them most of their athleticism. But you look at Arizona, extremely athletic. Iowa State is extremely athletic. I mean, you go down to Big 12. Houston was athletic, and then you come to the Big 10, and you got Carr, Duncan. That's the only one.
But they got. But it seemed like the Big 10 had better teams this year overall. I think.
Better teams. I'm talking about. I ain't say they weren't good teams because I think Nebraska was a good team. I think Michigan State was a good team. I think Iowa was a good team. I think Ohio State was a good team. Michigan's a good team. They're just not uber athletic like we're used to seeing teams. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got the only high flyer in the Big Ten is Carr. I'm just playing, but they're not as athletic as they used to be. Like when I used to watch the Big Ten, I used to watch when Ohio State had Jimmy Jackson and Mark Baker and Treg Lee and Perry Carter. And we used to watch Michigan, who had Chris Webber and Jalen Rose. Guys, Michigan State had Sean Respers and Steve Smith. That's what Indiana had Calvert Chaney. So I was spoiled. That's probably why I say what I say, because I was spoiled, you know what I'm saying, when it came to Big Ten basketball. But let's go to what the guys that get paid. Well, I guess a lot of these guys get paid NIL money. But anyway, the guys that get paid to try to win the championship. And we're gonna talk about the game of the night. We got a lot of good games. I think the NBA got it right. The NBA got a lot of really good games tonight, man. This one right here is the Lakers at 50-26 going against the Thunder at 60-16. I got a stat out here for you. So, do you know the Oklahoma City Thunder has had the least amount of minutes with all starters playing at the same time? They have played. They starting five have played a total of 75 minutes all season together.
And they just got that a few weeks ago. That just started.
75 minutes. That's not even 2 games.
Nope.
They ain't even got a 2-game. So they're starting to get healthy at the right time. Hardenstein, I believe, is back. I think Dork is back. We know SGA is playing good. Chet is back. And they're going against the Lakers, who I believe got the MVP. Luka Doncic is my MVP. I think if he don't win the MVP, I think he's upset at that position. Mm-hmm. Who you like in this game now?
Well, this is a big game measuring stick for the Lakers team, because I think they're 1-8 against the top 2 teams in the Western Conference, against the Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the one game they did play the Spurs and they won, I think Wemby didn't play, so can't really count that one. So I think this game means more for the Lakers than it does the Thunder. But I think Luka's on a scoring streak, like you were saying. I think he scored 40 points a game the last 10 games or something like that. The Thunder going to stop that shit tonight. Luka's still going to do his thing because he's Luka. But I think the Oklahoma City Thunder get them a win tonight at home against the Lakers.
Divorce Luka is the reincarnation of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, because he's playing fucking possessed. He's playing like Olympic Melo out this bitch. This motherfucker is playing fantastic basketball. I'm not saying it has nothing to do with divorce. I don't mean to joke about somebody's not being with their wife or whatnot, but I just think Luka Doncic, this is his team. We're starting to fade away from LeBron James, and this is how I think teams should be. I think when you got a championship caliber player that's a really good player, I think the baton should be passed while that guy is still on the team. And we're seeing that the baton is being passed from LeBron James to Luka Doncic. And I think Luka Doncic is on a mission. I think he's going to be the first MVP that the Lakers have had since Kobe Bryant, I believe. So I think that this is he's going to get him a MVP, and he's going to upset the Thunder tonight. Now, you said who is this a bigger game for? It's a bigger game for the Thunder, because guess what? San Antonio just smacked the shit out of Golden State last night. Now, Wemby's not going to be playing tonight.
No, he's not.
They're only 2 games back, and we still got like 6 games remaining. You fuck around in San Antonio. Do you know San Antonio since I think it was the January? They're 25-2. 25-2. So yeah, I got the Lakers clipping the Thunder in this one, in the game of the night, against the Grain Sports game of the night. Let's keep it moving, man. We got another matchup right here. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers. We know they got Donovan Mitchell. We know they got James Harden. We know they got Evan Mobley and Allen in the middle. But we got Golden State. I watched Golden State play last night, and I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry watching them. I didn't know nobody on their fucking roster, bro. I didn't know anybody on their roster.
Draymond was out there.
Draymond Green had 5 fouls by the beginning of the third quarter. By the beginning of the third quarter. But anywho, this is the team that's going to make the playoffs. The Golden State Warriors, and they think Steph will be back anytime in the next few games. We know they're a different team with him in the lineup. But who do you got in this matchup where you're going to see a lot of guys that was non-drafted playing for the Golden State Warriors?
Like I said, I think when they played the Spurs the other night, I think Wemby had like 20 and 10, but then in 15 minutes of play or some crazy shit like that. Wemby's not playing tonight against the Warriors. I'm gonna go Cavs. They need to get them a win. I think they just lost to the Lakers here recently, so they need to get back on track. And the Warriors, like you said, they got G League players out there. So I'm gonna go Cavs to get a win tonight.
This one, of course, I'm going with the Cavs. I don't watch the Warriors play several times in prime time without having Steph Curry. And I know when they did this contract, that's who they thought was going to be in the lineup. They thought he was going to be featuring Steph Curry. He's been hurt the last almost 30 games this season, which is a long time to be laid off and not playing. So I wonder if his injury is a lot worse than we anticipate or what. But nevertheless, man, I think the Cavaliers need this victory. But a lot of people, like my nephew, was on the show saying the Cavaliers had a real good chance coming out the Eastern Conference. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think they do. And I guess the question I'm gonna ask you: so if they go out in the first round this year, what do you do with this? What do you do with this roster? This is an underachieving roster the last 3 years. If they don't do anything this year, what do you do with this Cavalier roster?
I don't know. They keep firing the coach. They've made some trades. They got James Harden there now. I guess you have to run it back. I mean, you really have to. I mean, shit, you can't keep making. I guess you can keep making changes every offseason. I have to run it back again. I don't know what other trades they can make to make this team better. They just need to play better in the clutch. Last year, I think their biggest issue, they got hurt during the playoffs. I think they had 2 or 3 starters out when they played the Knicks. What's the Knicks they lost to? What's the Pacers?
Yeah, no, they lost to the Pacers. They lost to the Pacers.
They had a couple of starters out there in that series. So I guess they run it back.
Oh, the reason why I say that, man, is because I mean this was supposed to be their year. Everybody in the Eastern Conference that got hurt. You know, the Pacers, Halliburton got hurt. Jason Tatum was hurt. Embiid, you know, he hardly ever fucking plays. And now you got Paul George scoring 39. That's crazy work. You see, he scored 39. But anyway, this is supposed to be a year. Y'all were just, I think, a year or two removed from having the best record in the Eastern Conference. You get James Harden, and James Harden is a difference maker for them, you know, without that. And, you know, I love Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just wondering is would they have enough? And, you know, what are the chances that they go out in the first round? You know what I'm saying? It's a potential they can go out in the first round, man.
What seed are they right now, Joe? They got to be.
I think they like the 5th seed. So it's they between the 4th and 5th seed, and that means that so the number 1 seed, of course, is Detroit. Number 2 is Boston. Number 3 is the Knicks, and then I think 4 is between. I think the Cavaliers may be 4, and then 5 I think is like the Toronto Raptors. I can see in a 7-game series, Toronto giving them everything they asking for, man.
Oh yeah. Cleveland don't really scare anybody right now.
And then if they have to play in Toronto, it's a lot of dick up there, and it's hard to navigate that. You know what I mean? It's hard to navigate that. I'm just saying. Yeah. All I'm gonna say is I'm a little scared for the Cavaliers and their future. Not saying they can't get it done, but with Jason Tatum coming back for Boston, and it looked like Paul George is on a mission. I don't know, man. I don't know. First round is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, because you remember before the season started, with those injuries in the Eastern Conference, everyone was saying, okay. We thought the Knicks were going to be the team to beat in the East. And like you said, and also the Cavaliers. We thought those are 2 teams. And now no one's picking those 2 teams to come out of the East.
It's still some people hanging on to the Knicks because
they're the Knicks.
They're the Knicks, and they still got Jalen Brunson. The Cat had a triple-double last night, but it was against, I think they played against they played somebody trash. Like, they always play good against bad teams, man. But anyway, the next game we got coming up, man, we got 2 powerhouses in the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. And we got the Timberwolves. I don't think Ant-Man is back yet.
No, he played. He's not playing tonight.
But they played really well without him. And then you got the Pistons. The Pistons are locked in with the number 1 seed, I believe. They could probably rest their players now. What do you think about this game? Who wins it?
I'm going to go Detroit. I think this game is at home for them. I'm going to go Detroit to beat the Timberwolves. And on one hand, man, I think that might be an issue. Detroit does play very good team ball. I love their defense, so I'm going to go Detroit winning this game. Okay,
real quick, man. My nephew said he's under the weather. Can't talk. Hope he'll be better this weekend. Hey, get better, nephew.
Oh, yeah.
ASAP. Because the weather changed so much up here. That's why we get so many different colds and stuff like that. But nevertheless, man, in this matchup, I think that Pistons going to rest a lot of their guys. I think the Timberwolves are still trying to get some seeding. They because the Timberwolves still had a potentially getting the 4th or 5th seed. And, you know, a lot of times you want to at least get that 4th seed to get home court. And they're battling with the Denver Nuggets because right now it's Oklahoma City, San Antonio, the Lakers are probably locked in on 3 seeds. And then 4, you got the Dallas. Not Dallas. No. The Denver Nuggets. And then I think the T-Wolves are right up in there. They want to make sure they get home court. So I think they're going to play really well. I think Randall is playing really well. So I think the T-Wolves can get a game on the road because I think all the Pistons, they're going to be playing with a lot of guys that ain't normally used to playing major minutes. So I think that's going to be the thing right there. We got another matchup of a team. I told y'all. What did I say when the season started?
You said Phoenix was going to be legit this year.
And Phoenix, even though they've been without Green majority of the season, Devin Booker missed a lot of time. Dylan Brooks has missed a lot of time. They're still at 42-34. They will make the playoffs. They did not make the playoffs last year, and they had Kevin Durant. And I told everybody, I want people to start sending me my flowers. I told everybody that the Phoenix Suns, they were going to be better by subtraction. And to be honest, they're not too far away from the Houston Rockets. That's another team that's fighting for the 4th, 5th, or 6th seed. But the Suns, they're going against the Hornets. Hornets are one of the best, the hottest teams since January. They've been one of the hottest teams. They're going to make the playoff for the first time in a long time. Maybe they just need to get rid of Michael Jordan. They play better since they got rid of him. I mean, it's ironic. They're playing better after Jordan left, and now he's doing NASCAR. But anyway, who do you like in this game? Phoenix Suns going across country to play at Charlotte.
Well, let's see if Dylan Brooks can stay out of foul trouble. He's always getting in foul trouble, but he's a really good player. He just people forget about that because all the other shit he does. But I like the way this Hornets team's playing basketball. They can shoot the rock. So I'm gonna go Hornets to take care of business at home against Phoenix Suns.
Okay, I think in this matchup, I think that the Hornets they're at home.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna play better. I think that we still see that Phoenix is nursing a lot of injuries over there. They don't win this game. I like the Hornets winning this game. Con Knippel was looking to be the Rookie of the Year, and if he doesn't get it, it's going to be reminiscent of 2003 when Melo should have got the Rookie of the Year over LeBron. The numbers even said it. The success of the teams even said it. So if we see that your boy Cooper Flag get the Rookie of the Year, I know something is up. I know something is up. Something is fishy if Cooper Flag wins Rookie of the Year where his team is not as good. His numbers are just as good as Con Knippel. And Con Knippel was a key contributor to the turnaround of the Charlotte Hornets. And that's what matters. And if Con Knippel is our Rookie of the Year, if he's not and Cooper Flag somehow wins it, I'm gonna have a problem with that. But in this game, I think the Hornets win this game though, going away. And then last but not least, man, we got the San Antonio Spurs at 58-18. Like I said, they 25-2 since like something in January. And then the Clippers is another team I told y'all. Remember the Clippers? I said, watch the Clippers gonna make a turnaround when they were like 15 games out of being 500. I said it. Y'all want me to run the tape back for y'all? I told y'all.
Oh, I heard you say it.
The Clippers was going to make a turnaround because of Kawhi Leonard actually playing enough games to make a All-NBA team. They're 39-37. And it was crazy. You know, Kawhi Leonard didn't even make the original All-Star team. That was crazy work right there. But in this game, Wemby will not be playing. He has an ankle injury. So who do you got in this one, San Antonio or the Clippers?
Right now, the Spurs are a machine. And even without Wemby, I still think they have enough talent on this roster to beat the Clippers. The Clippers, they had to struggle to get to 500, like you said, Joe. They were so far back, but they're back at 500. I think right now they're in the play-in tournament. But I think the Spurs, they get another dub without Wemby tonight. So I got Spurs winning tonight.
I'm agree. I think San Antonio wins this game. I think San Antonio is really trying to get that number 1 seed, and they're 2 games back. And like I said, the Lakers can go handle business like I think they would, and San Antonio win. You have a 1-game lead with 5 games to play. Wemby, because I think this is the last game Wemby can miss to win MVP. So I think Wemby's going to play the last 5 or 6 games of the season because I know he wants to win MVP, and he definitely wants to be All-NBA, and he definitely wants to win Defensive Player of the Year. And the only way he can do it, I think this is his last game he can miss. This is the last game he can miss. So I think that San Antonio going to make a run because as long as Wemby's on the court, he's going to give you 110%. I like San Antonio to win it because Castle is a dog. I'm seeing the emergence of Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper is really playing good for basketball. We know what De'Aaron Fox can give you, but guys off the bench like Bryant, Harrison Barnes have really showed me a lot of professionalism being able to come off the bench now because he don't start anymore. I think they start Sampezi. Yeah. He's another guy that can hit it. He can hit 10
better shooting. Yeah.
But Harrison Barnes has been shooting 46% in the last month from the three-point line. So that's going to pay big dividends when it comes playoff time. And when people got a double Wemby, he can kick it out to those shooters and they can hurt them from the outside. So San Antonio, even without Wemby, they still win this game. So
I think that's going to be team's game plan playing against the Spurs in the playoffs. I think they're going to try to make Wemby be a facilitator and pass the ball and make other players beat him. Because if you just let him just go one-on-one, he's going to, like Shaq said, he's going to barbecue chicken anybody you put on him. So I think their game plan in the playoff going to say, we're going to put pressure on these young guys. Let's see if Castle can knock down these open jumpers in the play. I think that's going to be a game plan because playing him one-on-one is not going to be a good idea.
I got a couple more topics before we get out of here. One of them being, of course, every podcast wants a signature clickbait moment. And I think that Pat Bev, which I like Pat Bev. I think he keeps it real at all times. He was asked if Dame Lillard was a Hall of Famer. I mean, we talking about a guy that's averaged over 24 points a game for his career. I mean, he's been to the Western Conference Finals. I mean, he's been playing phenomenal. He's top 75 player. How can you not be a Hall of Famer if you're top 75 player? But nevertheless, what do you think? Do you think that what Pat Beverly said about Dame Lillard is accurate?
No, it's very disrespectful, but these two have a past. Patrick Beverly and Dame Lillard. Remember, he was one that was laughing at Dame Lillard when he missed those free throws. I think it was in the bubble.
Yeah.
He was laughing and joking about it. So they have a past. Patrick Beverly, that's the way he gets down. So, but it's very disrespectful. All the Hall of Fame, basketball is the easiest Hall of Fame to get into. Not saying Dame Lillard don't deserve to be there, but I think he's definitely, like you said, Joe, he's already a top 75 player. He's definitely getting to the Hall of Fame first ballot with ease.
I think it's disrespectful because I agree.
It is.
I think the reason why the Hall of Fame for basketball is easier because it's called the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's not the NBA Hall of Fame. And I think if you changed it, because a lot of guys got in because they had tremendous college careers or they played well overseas, like Oscar Smith. If you're not familiar with Oscar Smith, this guy was, I think he led, if you put his points together, he would have more points than LeBron James. I think he had the all-time world record for points. This is a guy that played, I believe, in Brazil that he played, Oscar Smith. And then, of course, like we talked about this, Arvydas Sabonis didn't come over till he was like 31. He was one of the best players in the world. Tony Kukoc didn't come over till later in his career. Drazen Petrovic, I think he was the one that came over the earliest. Marciulionis, people forget about Art Marciulionis that played for the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings. But that's how you go look at the Hall of Fame. You're looking at, so that's when you got, women basketball players getting in, you getting coaches. And I never understood in the Hall of Fame where you got people that's still playing or still coaching getting in the Hall of Fame. What's that about, sir?
I know that's weird. That I don't know what it is. You would think when your career is over, because didn't they put Popovich in the Hall of Fame where he was still coaching?
Yeah, they put him in there. I believe they put Dwight Howard in.
I think he fought it for a while. He really didn't. He's like, man, I want to wait till I'm done coaching. But they put him in before. To me, they should wait like they do in the NFL. But I guess it is what it is.
Now, I mean, it's a lot of guys in the Hall of Fame. I'll be honest, I wouldn't think would be in there. But I mean, I'm not gonna say that he's not in there. I ain't even make it to the NBA. So how the hell I'm gonna still say a motherfucker ain't supposed to be in the Hall of Fame? But to say that Dame Lillard not gonna go, I think is really, really disrespectful because it's almost like if you average over your career over 20 points, you're probably gonna get in. I mean, I mean, I don't even think they give a fuck if you won a championship or not, because if we talking about that, at least Dame Lillard been to the Western Conference Finals. I love Dominique Wilkins, but Dominique Wilkins ain't never been that far. I don't think Dominique Wilkins ever got out of the second round of the playoffs.
Bro, they put Yao Ming in there.
Yeah, Yao Ming ain't never been nowhere. He never win nothing. And it's just like you throw anybody into the Hall of Fame. Now, if they would have been, I think the NBA had a real great opportunity to only let like 3 people in a year. And if I think the rules were different, but once again, when they made it the Basketball Hall of Fame instead of the NBA Hall of Fame, I think what they should do is have a Basketball Hall of Fame and then have a additional NBA Hall of Fame, and then you really let those guys get in that should be in. Because we talking, like, I remember when Deion Sanders, remember he said it, he said some of these guys shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. He said some of these guys' jackets shouldn't be the same color as mine. I didn't like that because football, the only way that Deion Sanders can be great is if he had people blocking or being able to get pass rush, because he didn't want to make no tackles, because all they had to do was run the sweep to your side, and he gonna have 1,000 yards in that game. But
Deion said the sidelines was an ex-defender, brother. To get over them pushing your ass out of bounds, what I'm gonna do.
But think about this. So in the NBA, I think it should just be the elite, and they have the opportunity to only have the elite players in there. And I think they didn't do it right. I mean, you got your Michael Jordans, of course. You got Kobe, you got Shaq. Like, the Hall of Fame honestly should only have about 50 people.
Don't say it, Joe. 50.
I'm gonna say about 50 to 60 people. Yeah.
NBA is really old, bro.
It don't matter. Some
But
of these guys,
but the guy, everyone that's in the top 75 thing they just said, all those guys will be in. That's 75 people right there.
I don't know if all 70. I don't know if all 75 should be in though.
You can't.
I mean,
you can't take out the people that built this league.
That's what I'm saying.
So those guys going to be in. That's what I tell my son. He was like, that list came out. Oh, Dad, this guy said, yeah, but he's one of the founders of the league. You can't take him out. He might not have these great numbers like some of the other guys, but he's one of the founders of the league. They're gonna put him in there.
Some of these guys were just along for the ride, man. Come on, man. Like, I know these guys built the league, but when you playing in the Boston Celtics in the 50s and 60s, when everybody made the fucking Hall of Fame because they were winning, like they won almost every fucking year. Of course, you're gonna make the Hall of Fame. You winning every year. So I don't know, man. I if it was up to me, and then you had the element of the ABA. You know what I'm saying? You had two separate leagues for such a long time. You tried to combine the ABA and the NBA. You finally did. I just think that it should be. I think it should be a recount of the Hall of Fame. I'm just gonna say this. I don't think everybody should just get in. I think they should make it so. They should have made it so exclusive because they don't have that problem in baseball. You don't have that problem in football. You know, they got exclusive people in those Hall of Fames, and I don't think the NBA, because like I said, it's not like this is the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the NFL, and baseball is the Baseball Hall of Fame. But basketball is the only one that called it the Basketball Hall of Fame, so anybody can get in there. I think that's the problem. But
yeah, you got Dick Vitale, and not saying he's for a commentator or whatever, but he's in the Hall of Fame with some of these great basketball players.
But the thing about it, he's in the Hall of Fame and he's still commentating.
Yeah,
like I don't like. How do you like? Okay, you put him in the Hall of Fame. Let's say we're gonna go NFL version. If O.J. Simpson was able to get into the Hall of Fame and then he was still commentating, and he was in the Hall of Fame already, and then he had the murders, you think he gets in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, no.
Exactly.
No, not even close.
So why are we putting people in the Hall of Fame that are still active? That's not right.
Well, you got Hall of Fame coaches that come out of retirement. That's what Joe Gibbs did. He was already in the Hall, and he decided to come back and go coaching, and so I mean he got that too.
That's a little different. I look at that. I look at that as being different because, like I said, he came out of retirement. He was retired for several years. It wasn't like he waited the allotted 5 seasons before he got elected. It wasn't like only person I thought was cool that when Kobe died, they immediately put him in.
Yeah,
I like that. They immediately put him in. They didn't wait, but that was the only person. But the NBA changes the rules so often. They change the rule when they feel like fucking changing rules, and that I'm like, you don't even know what the rules are. They be changing rules mid-game. I'm like, hold on, I thought you couldn't do that. He changed the rule at halftime. What the fuck is going on? They change rules every time you fucking look at the NBA. They fucking changing the rule. Y'all never stick to shit. The All-Star game been changed like 5 fucking times.
Yeah, they're trying. I don't know why they won't leave it one format. Every year they change. You just don't know what to expect. I guess that's what to look forward to. Every year and say, hey, I wonder what they're gonna do the All-Star game this year because they change it every year. It seems like it.
It's bullshit. I mean, whatever it is. But anyway, the last thing I got for you, man, we spoke on this briefly a couple shows ago.
Mm-hmm.
So now I know it's a little old, so people ain't really talking about it like this, and people weren't really talking about it that much anyway. But we had a scenario where Cam Newton, I think Cam Newton is fantastic MVP quarterback. Second all time in rushing touchdowns for a quarterback. He led it for quite some time until Josh Allen just broke it this year. Most rushing touchdowns for a quarterback. We know he led his team to the Super Bowl. And we know that he has a very successful podcast called 4 for 1. And we know he's on ESPN. He has his other version of the podcast where he interviews entertainers and stuff like that. Very talented. And what people don't give credit to Cam Newton, he's extremely intelligent. He's a very, very intelligent. I met him in Vegas. Very, very intelligent man. So he's a showstopper. He's a playmaker when it comes to this media war. He knew that Jason Whitlock, who a lot of people don't like. I mean, let's keep it. But he made some comments about Stephen A. Smith as well as Cam Newton and some other people. And instead of Cam Newton going back and forth with him, he said, fuck it. Come on to my show. We're going to go one-on-one. You say what you got to say. I'm going to say what I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about that first before I bring in the other elements of why I brought this up. What did you think about that when you seen that Jason Whitlock was going to go on 4th and 1 and go toe to toe with Cam Newton.
I like it. I mean, he's in this. He's doing this platform to get views. That's what he's doing it for. And he knows if you bring on Jason Whitlock, who's having issues with Cam Newton, we're going to get the likes. And I'll have no problem with it. You won't have to get along with everybody you have on your show. Now, we get along on this show. That's different. But if you're going to bring a guest on that you had issues with, I have no problem with it. I think it's great television.
Okay, now this is where the curveball come in at. The reason why, because we got the great Ryan Clark of ESPN, former safety, Super Bowl winning safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers, played for your Commanders. Have a one of the best podcasts known to man.
Oh, yeah.
Big shout out to the Pivot, Fred Taylor, Channing Tatum. Is his name Channing Tatum? Am I saying that? No, that's the damn actor.
You think about male strippers, bro?
Yeah, I was thinking about Magic Mike and shit. But Tatum,
I know you're
Tatum
talking about.
Channing. We know they're excellent over there, so forgive me. But anyway, Ryan Clark put a tweet out because they were talking about Stephen A. Smith on the show. So he put the tweet out. He said that Cam Newton was kind of like a Judas in so many words. Like, hey, how you going, Stephen A. Smith put you on ESPN. How that's like betrayal by bringing basically his arch enemy on your show. What did you feel about that? Ryan Clark's comments about that, about Stephen A. Smith being Jason Whitlock's arch enemy.
Well, it's not like that Cam Newton was agreeing with what Jason Whitlock was saying about Stephen A. Smith. It's not like he's I don't like that motherfucker either. He's fake. He wasn't doing that. He just let him voice his opinion. And I think that's okay. I think my guy Ryan Clark should have stayed out of this one. I don't think he should have made any comments. It's really none of his business. It's just my personal opinion. I understand why he says certain things. He feels he needs to speak on certain subjects, but I think that's between Cam Newton and Stephen A. Smith. If they have beef now, I ain't seen Cam Newton on First Take since.
But it's not football season. It's not football season, and they haven't talked about the draft. That's probably why he's not on there.
Yeah, you're right. But I don't know. I don't think it's a big issue. I really don't. I mean, you bring people on your show. That's like if you had a political show, Joe, and you're a Democrat, and you're gonna just bring all Democrats. You want to bring different opinions. You want to bring Republicans. You want to bring independents on your show. You want to have different opinions of things. So I don't think it's an issue.
This is what I do think is it. First of all, I do think Ryan Clark, and I love him to death. Trust me, I can't wait to meet Ryan Clark. I think he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I know people don't. I love him. Ryan Clark, I love him. Can't wait to meet you because we're gonna meet very soon. This is my issue though. My issue is this: Ryan Clark. Sometimes you get in the battles that ain't yours. You got in it with Angel Reese, and you jumped in that battle. Sometimes you got now. If you come in support, but to actually try to take the battle over, I don't know if that's your fight. Let the other people fight first, and if you see that they need help, jump in.
Yeah.
I don't think Stephen A. Smith needed any help for anybody to defend him. You know what I'm saying? And I think the problem I have with Cam Newton is I don't have a problem with you bringing Jason Whitlock on the show. I just think you should have brought Stephen A. Smith on your show first. Now, I don't know if they had any agreements with this or was going to bring him on, but I would have got Stephen A. Smith opinion first because, a lot of times people listen to who says something first. And I would have let my guy, Stephen A. Smith, voice his opinion and then brought Jason Whitlock and then found a way to do a roundtable with all three. The problem I got with all this, too, is why do you have all these people in the same job? All y'all are different kind of journalists, different kind of things. Like Ryan Clark, a lot of people call him racist. I've heard them say that. I don't know how you black can be racist.
Yeah,
I don't know how
I've heard that too.
They say you do a lot of race baiting. Everybody does at some point. Stephen A. Smith didn't respond on First Take. He responded on his own podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he has a problem with Cam Newton or not. We haven't heard anything about it, but we're gonna see on how many appearances Cam Newton gets on First Take after this. That's what's gonna show me like how Stephen A. Smith really felt. But all of this, I like it because a lot of time we talk around motherfuckers. I'm gonna talk to you, nigga, because I ain't scared of you. And what I do like about Jason Whitlock is he stands on what the fuck he says. I don't agree with a lot of shit Jason Whitlock said.
Me either.
But what I will give him credit for, he's a hell of a fucking journalist. Go look at his shit on I think he was on Sports Illustrated. The motherfucker can write it. He's very intelligent. He knows he stands on what he says, and you can't get mad at a motherfucker that say some shit and say, "Look, I'm gonna double down. This is what I mean." What do you think about this?
I agree, Jody, but it just seems like he only attacks black athletes. He never attacks anybody that's not. That's my issue with him. I mean, if you want to have an opinion on these players or whatever, he just comes off as a hater to me. It's just my opinion.
But he did go after Pavea, the quarterback from Vandy. Am I saying his name? Diego Pavea.
He's not white.
He's not black either. I mean, what Mike say? Round you up to the next race. But my thing is, Jason. But some of the things that some of these players, because I'm a type player, whether you white, black, green, purple,
it don't matter. Yeah,
it don't matter to me. Like, I'm not looking. One thing we can get away from race should be sports. I think that's where we can get away from the actual world and get to this level. If you can fucking play basketball, if you can fucking play football, hockey, whatever it is, I don't give a fuck what your color, nationality is. We should be able to get over in this space and just talk about the sport. But we can't do that. So
no, we never can, Jody. It goes back to even think back to the 80s when Isaiah Thomas made comments about Larry Bird. He said if Larry Bird was a brother, he'd just be a regular basketball player. And he got so much flack behind that shit. It's just we can never get away from race in this country. I don't think we ever will.
And it's like we can't get, like, if we ever talk about the quarterback position, it's always a level of a shield because we only have one black quarterback in the Hall of Fame, and that's Warren Moon. He went in 2005. We probably won't see another African-American quarterback. Maybe Patrick Mahomes might be the next one because the way they talk about Russell Wilson, they thinking that he won't even get in, which I think he should. But it's not going to be a lot, and it's going to be some years before we see it. So we can't get away from that. We can't get away from. We don't see a lot of white wide receivers. So when you see the Cooper Cups of the world, we like, oh my God, he can play. We don't see a lot of the white cornerbacks. So when we see Cooper Najee, we're a Raleigh Leonard. We see those guys. We like, wow, these guys can really. Well, not Raleigh. He played safety. I'm sorry. What's the name? What's the kid over there for Denver?
No, he's a corner. Yeah, he's a corner.
But what's his name? Because Riley Leonard played safety. I think Riley Leonard was a safety out of Wisconsin.
I can't think of it, but he's the one that was always getting cooked with the Broncos.
Yeah, I think his name is Riley. Somebody with some Jason.
I think they were scared of the other corner. That's why they kept throwing to him. So he kept getting all the attention over there.
Hey, my man Marvell Gordon, Coach Gordon said Ted Ginn will be at the Colonel the Aviator. He has a young quarterback seminar. He's gonna have Ted Ginn over there. That's good stuff right there, man.
Ted Ginn.
That's good stuff.
Ted Ginn Jr.
Yeah, he just said Ted Ginn. Might be his dad because his dad is a.
That's a coach, right?
Yeah, in Ohio. Yeah, he's from Glenville. He got all those players in Ohio State. It's a pipeline of players from Glenville to Ohio State. But nevertheless, so just give me your last thought on the scenario with Ryan Clark, Stephen A. Smith, Jason Whitlock, and Cam Newton.
Well, my opinion, Joe, we don't know the conversation that Stephen A. and Cam Newton had. He might have told us, look, man, I'm going to bring Jason Whitlock on the show. And Stephen A. might say, you know what, that's good. I'm going to respond. You get your views, and I'll go respond to what he says and get my views. That might have been the conversation they had. We just never know.
My issue with that is when you're at the top of the food chain, like all four of those guys I named, why do y'all need a gimmick? You understand what I'm saying?
That shit goes on, Jody. We know it goes on. I'm not saying that's what happened in this situation, but that type of shit does happen, bro. I'm pretty sure when you go viral so much, you probably get addicted to that shit. Because Stephen A. Smith, like, he's probably I can't wait. I remember him saying, he's like, yeah, wait till I respond to his fat ass. He was talking shit because he was gonna get some numbers because he's like, yeah, y'all come to my show and watch because I'm gonna respond to this fat bastard. Remember he was calling him fat bastard, all kind of shit.
But Stephen A. Smith don't need no gimmicks.
I know, but he likes the spotlight, Jody. He loves it.
I get it, but who the fuck is on? Let's be real, bro. There's nobody in. I respect Stephen A. Smith so much. He wasn't in the NBA, and he still got to where he's making NBA money.
Oh,
this motherfucker's making NBA money, and he did it from an HBCU. It ain't like he went to Harvard. It ain't like he went to Syracuse like most of the journalists went to. He went to an HBCU.
Yeah.
Big shout out. I came from an HBCU myself. I look at it like this, man. I respect him, and I respected him more early on in his career. He's got a little Hollywood, but I mean, who wouldn't
It
when you got
happens.
that
Yeah.
type of money? I don't dislike him at all. I think like I said, his hustle is phenomenal. But it's crazy work that this guy's the top of the food chain, and we still looking at ways to get views when all you gotta do is say his name, and you're gonna get millions of people. If he can get on the show and not even have a fucking topic, and he'll still get 1 million viewers. You see what I'm saying? So Cam Newton, you Cam Newton, like you Cam. Now people that has like Jason Whitlock, because he's not in the forefront, and I don't even know if he's with a network anymore.
No,
I can see why Jason Whitlock would need that, but Jason Whitlock has a huge following of people that want to hear what he has to say, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
And then Ryan Clark, you got the pivot. I mean, the pivot numbers speak for their fucking self. So that's why I'm like, a lot of times I see celebrities get on here and they do podcasts. I'm not mad. Do your thing, because sometimes, man, you got to keep generating money to stay with this lifestyle that you're living. But it's like you look at a podcast like us. We don't have no celebrity. We don't have no celebrity endorsements, and we get a lot of people that watch our show. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if I even want to go, because I'm an old school journalist. I don't want to do the clickbait shit. So I don't want to have us like. I guess I was going to ask you this question too, if you want to answer this about Jaden Ivey's situation.
Ooh.
And it's a very, very sensitive topic.
It is.
Jaden Ivey. If anybody knows who Jaden Ivey, he's a former NBA player. He was cut from the Chicago Bulls. We know he had a lot of injuries. He came out and made some homosexual comments. He also said some other things, but now he's no longer in the NBA. I don't know. I don't think he's ever going to get picked up again, to be honest with you. Who his mother is the coach of the Notre Dame.
I know you know.
Yeah, I definitely know. Her lipstick really makes that red lipstick really did something. But anyway, what do you think about the Jaden Ivey situation? And it's a lot of people that are sounding off, including Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark said that sometimes people use Christianity to spew hate and venom, using the Christianity, like using that. Joy Taylor came out and said a lot about Jaden Ivey, and of course Nick Young said the best thing for you to do now is say you gay. That's what he said. He said the best thing you can do to salvage your career is say you homosexual yourself. What do you think about this, man?
He just found God recently, but some of the things I've heard him say, he just found the Lord, which is great. Was nothing wrong with that. But I'm telling you right now, Joe, that I grew up in the church, and there ain't nothing worse than a nigga that just found the Lord and he thinks he's perfect, and the way you live in your life is terrible. And if you go back, you're not supposed to be judging people this way. The God's supposed to judge people, not you. You're just a human, just like everyone else. Let people live their life, man. If someone wants to be gay or be this, whatever, who cares? Worry about stay in your lane. Worry about your own family, your own focus. If someone wants to do that, who cares? That's how I look at it, man. He putting too much thought into this. I think he had a lot of mental issues, honestly. Listening to some of his interviews and some of the stuff he said when he's going live. He got a lot of personal issues, but to me, that's just putting too much focus on trying to tell people how they live their lives. It's just too much work, bro. You can't do it in this day and age. As people can live free nowadays, do what they want. So I say let people do their thing, man. Not worry about what other people are doing. This is my opinion.
So you remember the Dave Chappelle show? Are you familiar with the Dave Chappelle show?
Come on, bro. You know. Keeping it real goes wrong.
It was a classic skit when they said keeping it real goes wrong. And this is a classic example with Jaden Ivey, where some of the comments that you made
playing on my phone.
you should have kept those comments to yourself.
Yeah.
Because once again, if you're going to talk about the sins of homosexuality, then we got to talk about the other stuff that you probably had done, where the adultery, or I'm pretty sure you had sex before marriage.
Yeah.
Or you're going to talk about stealing or any other thing that happens that is considered a sin. Why are we only focusing on one quote unquote thing in the Bible? And that's what I have a problem with. But once again, the country has free speech, and you can say what you want. I'm not agreeing with nothing he said, because once again, homosexuality is their lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's what they have to do. They have to that's the life that they got to live, and it wasn't for you to say. And now you get mad because you get released and talk about I didn't do anything to the Bulls, but you did something to the people. It's not just about you playing for the Bulls or being in the NBA. It's about, it ain't even about you offending people. It's like you being selective on you being offensive. You go, okay, then offend everybody. Don't just offend the homosexual community because they ain't did nothing to you. Like let them live their life. They live their life just like everybody else lived their life. And I just think that in that situation, I think that Jaden Ivey needs to go get help.
Yeah, he does.
And if they claim to love him, then stop saying it publicly and go get him, and maybe go drag him to get the help that he needs, man. Real quick, Jay Kane himself said he want Diddy released. Is that okay?
Kelly should be out before Diddy.
Oh, wow. Whoa, I'm not touching that. I'm gonna put it like this.
Hey, Jody, this is what we do, man. Let's put R. Kelly on house arrest. That's why the nigga can be out and still make us some good music. He ain't got to go nowhere. Just put the nigga on house arrest.
But listen, he can make music in there because y'all know he had when remember Chris Brown came out with the song. It came out. It was called Residuals.
Yeah,
and he did a verse. And I remember I was coming home from work. I was listening to the radio.
Shit was fire.
He did the verse and he was basically going ham, talking about where my money at. Y'all done stole my money. You know, you never heard that song again. That was it. You can't find that motherfucker on iTunes. You can't find that shit on Apple Radio. You can't find that song nowhere because a lot of people like, hold on, let's get this off the air. I've never heard that verse ever again on Residuals, and that was crazy work. Jay Kane said he said that's where he did all the peeing was at home. He did a lot of peeing in the bed. But listen, I don't get into none of that shit if you supposed to be out, because it's a lot of shit that go on and I don't fucking know about. So I'll leave it alone. And Jaden Ivey, no disrespect, my boy, and I hope and I pray that you get the help you need. You should have stayed in your lane. Yeah. Now I understand you standing on business, but once again, you only stood on that. What happened to the violence that's going on in the streets? Are you standing against that? Are you standing against home invasions? Are you standing against all these other things? You picked homosexuality. Like, okay, if you're not homosexual, you homophobic. That's on you,
bro. Jody,
I'm not.
Jody, in the Bible, it speaks of sins. There are a lot of things that are sins, and according to the Bible, they're all created equal. If you stare at a woman that's walking down the street, that's a sin. If you instead of getting regular fries, I'm gonna get the biggie fries. Over gluttony, that's a sin. There's a whole lot of things that's a sin. So no one lives their life perfect, brother. Right. So if you think your sins are less than his or the next person, no. If we're gonna go by that, nobody's gonna get into heaven. So he needs to stop doing that.
And with Easter being right around the corner, Jesus said, "He who or without sin cast the first stone," and everybody dropped a stone. So that's what, you know. And here Coach Gordon said he overspoke, and there's no free speech. He said Trump offends people all the time.
Oh yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah, Trump. I mean, he do. I mean, but this is my thing. If somebody's speaking and you don't want to hear it, you got the option to turn your TV off and keeping that motherfucker on.
No, I mean, there's free speech, but there's also this word called consequences. You can say what the fuck you want to say, but Ivy, if you're in the NBA, Chicago Bulls, you can't go around talking shit about Steph Curry, LeBron James. Oh, they're not getting into heaven. What are you talking about, bro? Talking shit about gay, bro. Just shut up. Now he's looking for a job.
Jay Kane said somebody in the locker room must have rubbed him the wrong way. Pause. I didn't say that he did, but I don't know, man. I just, I understand. Like I said, you're new Christian, you want to, but it's other parts of the Bible that I want you to read too. I don't want you just to go to that one. And everybody commits a sin daily. That's why we ask for forgiveness daily. So, I'm not about to pass no judgment on nobody on this planet, man, because I got to live my life and I got to find my way into heaven.
I'm just another man trying to get to like everybody else, bro.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get there, man. So that was basically, man, I wanted to talk about the Jaden Ivey situation. And then we talked about the podcast with a lot of podcasts have a lot of good stuff on there. But I still, man, I got a problem. So when you're already a celebrity and you're still looking for a gimmick, I don't understand that. I think once you get to that level, it should be all journalism. But like I said, that's just my opinion. That's not how it should be. That's not. But I'm a type person that I'm getting to this because I want to get to the straight journalism and we speak our minds.
I think people are allergic. I think they get addicted to going viral, and I think they're looking to do certain videos so they can go viral. I think once they do it once, they still chasing that same high every single time.
Yeah.
I think that's what goes on with a lot of the famous people.
My man, Coach Gordon said, "How do we give Trump a pass?" I didn't give him a pass. I don't get into politics.
But Trump don't have no balls. That's the difference between him and a lot of other people. Who the fuck's gonna check him?
But this
he can do it. He can do it and say what he wants. He don't have nobody to answer to. So that's one of the not saying problem, but that's the thing with Trump. No one's gonna check him.
I don't listen, man, because people get all into politics and they get into this and they get into that. And I don't necessarily get into that because the only thing affecting me right now is gas prices and the war. But I'm being facetious. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people put too much emphasis on what Trump say or what he don't say. That's if y'all do that, that's great. That's y'all. Do y'all thing. I just don't indulge in that because I got to worry about my house and I got to worry about my community and then I got to branch out that way. I can't go straight to the top and try to fix Trump. You see what I'm saying? I can't fix Trump. I got to fix. If we focus more on sweeping our porch, like my mama used to say, sweep your porch first.
Yeah.
And then branch up. But we go straight to the top and we all fucked up at home.
That's what everyone sees on TV all the time. That's the reason why people figure. It is what it is. He's gonna say what he wants to say. It's obvious. He's gonna offend people, and no one's gonna check him. He's gonna do and say what he wants. That's his thing. And he'll get his 4 years, and he'll be out there, and somebody else be in there. Hopefully that person be a little different. But we'll see. Like you said, one main thing affecting me right now is them gas prices.
And make me want
to go home. I go to work and come home. I don't do shit else because gas prices are crazy right now. Hey, Jody, I put $40 in my truck the other day. It's like it took me 10 seconds to put $40 in the kind of like I was putting gas in a fucking lawnmower or something. I was like, God damn.
Hey, J. Kane said Trump a gangster, man. He the number one gangster.
He is a gangster.
But yeah, man, great show today, man. It was just me and you today,
yes, sir.
Mono, man. But the crew is gonna be back. We'll be back on Saturday morning. So, Friday, we take Fridays off. Plus, we're going to be talking. I'm going to watch a lot of women's basketball tomorrow night, the 2 championship games, semifinal, Final Four. And we'll be back Saturday morning to talk about the results. And we also be talking about the college basketball. But so, man, give me a final thought as we get out of here.
Final thought, man. Mark Cuban, former owner of the Dallas Mavericks, just dropping bars on his podcast. He basically did a diss track. He told him, the guy asked him, "Do you regret selling the Dallas Mavericks?" He goes, "No, I don't regret selling them. I regret who I sold them to." He hates the ownership. And he also said Jason Kidd knew about the Luka trade. So now they asked Jason Kidd about it. I said, now he's worried. Now in his face, they asked him about this shit. So Mark Cuban said, "All right, motherfucker, you don't want me to sell me the team back? Now I'm finna start talking shit about everybody."
That's crazy. He should have never sold that damn team.
No, he should have sold it, man.
Hey, my final take is this, man. The NFL draft is right around the corner. Actually, it is this month. And we're getting prepared for the draft. And I think everything that you can say or do has already been said or done. I mean, I see different mock drafts having 1 week you got these guys. What has happened in 3 days where you change your picks? The same person is changing their picks. You should be set in stone. Only thing that's going to change your pick now is, like I just said, Kirk Cousins being acquired by the Raiders. I'm kind of scratching my head. I don't know if Mendoza is going to be a Raider. I really don't know. I think he's going to end up being a Jet or Arizona Cardinal, and I think that they're going to be able to get so many draft picks off of that. That means Kirk Cousins will have benefited your organization because let's be real. If in year one, who's going to have a better season? You think Kirk Cousins in year one or Mendoza? I think Kirk Cousins, the proven veteran, will have a better season in year one at least. Now, the future is Mendoza. So do you give up the future for a win now type of situation? That's the question. If it's me and I'm the Raiders, yes. Because it's not just win now. Because if you get multiple draft picks, you get multiple draft picks in years to come, every year there's going to be because matter of fact, who the hell had Mendoza as a number one pick going in before he got to Indiana? Because nobody even was talking about him when he was at Cal.
Nope.
So it's always going to be a quarterback that emerges every year. So if I'm the Raiders, I trade the number one pick, and that's just how I would trade the number one pick to a thirsty team like Arizona, a thirsty team like the Jets. The Jets would give up anything at this point for that number one pick. And then you can fucking circle around and go get Ty Simpson, who may be better than him.
Could be. You're right. People saying he's not, but I think that Ty Simpson was just his offense, his running game wasn't there. I think Indiana's team was more well-rounded, was helping Mendoza out a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Ty Simpson was carrying that team. So that's just my opinion. We'll go back and see if I'm right.
I agree, Jody.
But I'm your host, Jody Coleman of Against the Grain Sports Podcast Uncut. We're here with my man Jarrell, Solo on Sports Glenn, all the way from San Antonio, Texas. We got some big things on the horizon. Pause.
Big things popping, baby.
We got, in the absence of Michael the People's Chat, Ray more than just a Barbara Lindsay, Andrew mic'd up, Jason the Hefty Lefty, Get Better Nephew, Donald, the voice of the youth. And we can't do none of this without JK and the chef cooking it up in the kitchen. So what we doing till Saturday?
We working, baby.
See y'all. Peace.